Every corner of Skyrim has its purpose. Whiterun serves as the beating heart of the Civil War and the Dragon Crisis. Riften has corruption, thieves, and guild politics. Dawnstar suffers under the weight of Daedric nightmares, while Falkreath lies hidden in the shadow of grief and death. Even the smallest villages, Riverwood, Ivarstead, Karthwasten, hold meaning as quest hubs, emotional touchpoints, or necessary crossroads. And then there's Dragon Bridge. It has a name, it has a marker, it has people, homes, and a claim to fame. The massive bridge that gives it life. But still, Dragon Bridge often goes unseen. Travellers pass through, adventurers barely glance at all. And the story of Skyrim hardly pauses to acknowledge it, only until the very end of the game. This is the loneliness of Dragon Bridge, a town balanced precariously between importance and invisibility, a settlement remembered more for its structure than for its people. Dragon Bridge sits in the northeastern corner of Skyrim, along the Karth River, just before the road curves towards Solitude. From a geographic standpoint, this should make it one of the most critical towns in the province. It serves as the final settlement before Skyrim's capital, sitting on a road that countless merchants, travellers and soldiers must have used over centuries. Its great bridge, built from ancient Nordic stone and watched over by dragon carvings, connects two sides of the Karth River in a dramatic, symbolic display of strength. And yet, despite the prime location, Dragon Bridge still feels like a ghost of relevance. Not many people really come here. It lacks the bustle of a trading post, the defences of a border fort, or the vibrancy of a waypoint town. For many players, it is nothing more than a road stop they barely register before riding onward to Solitude. It is a town perched on the edge, not just geographically, but narratively as well. The true star of Dragon Bridge is, of course, the bridge itself. Massive, stone-carved, and ancient. The bridge dominates the settlement, flanked by imposing dragon heads carved into its sides. It stands as one of the most striking architectural landmarks in all of Skyrim. It's functional as well, allowing trade, armies, and travellers to cross the roaring Karth River. But therein lies the problem. The bridge overshadows the town. When players hear the name Dragon Bridge, they think of the structure, not the settlement. The bridge is a landmark, a screenshot-worthy backdrop, a place that feels connected to Skyrim's mythic past. And the town? It's just a cluster of wooden houses that pale in comparison. The result is a place where the town exists in service to the bridge, not the other way around. And without it, Dragon Bridge might not even exist. What makes Dragon Bridge so unseen is not just its size, but its function. It is not a destination, it is a transition. Players ride through it on the way to Solitude. Couriers sprint past it. Even quests that mention Dragon Bridge rarely linger here for long until you're in the end game. The settlement has no inn, beyond a humble tavern-like home. No guild hall, no market, no reason for the player to settle or stay. When you walk into the tavern, there is barely anyone there other than one person. In this way, Dragon Bridge embodies the feeling of being looked at but not seen. It is acknowledged as a waypoint, but rarely experienced as a place. Like a rest stop on a highway, it's there, it's real, but you move past it almost immediately. Dragon Bridge actually has quite a few residents. A lot of named NPCs live here, tending to their homes, raising families, and working the surrounding lands. There's the lumberman who keeps the sawmill running, and Fader who tends to her home and hearth. Yet these characters feel like shadows of themselves. They offer little dialogue and barely any quests, and they rarely tie into Skyrim's broader web of politics and myth. Compare this to Riverwood's blacksmith, who arms you for the journey, or Ivarstead's townfolk, who beg you to climb the throat of the world. In Dragon Bridge, the people just exist, but they never truly speak. They are present, but unheard, mirroring the unseen nature of the town itself. One exception to Dragon Bridge's obscurity lies in the Penitus Oculatus outpost. This outpost, the Emperor's personal guard and intelligence service, establishes a small stronghold here. For a moment, this gives Dragon Bridge significance, especially if you join the Dark Brotherhood questline. The outpost becomes a target, a reminder of the Empire's reach and the Shadows trying to destroy it. And yet, even this fleeting spotlight seems to fade somewhat quickly. Once the relevant quest is over, the outpost remains, but it holds no further purpose. The Penitus Oculatus stand watch in a town where no one visits, guarding against threats that never come. It is emblematic of Dragonbridge itself, poised for importance but quickly abandoned by the narrative. Again, geographically, Dragonbridge sits at a political crossroads. It lies near Solitude, the heart of the Imperial power in Skyrim, but it also rests close to the Reach, a territory long contested between Nords, Imperials, and the native Forsworn. Its location makes it a natural choke point, a settlement that should hold strategic significance in the Civil War, but once again, this potential remains unused. The Stormcloaks never seize it, the Imperials never fortify it, the Forsworn never attack it. It is a place of potential battles, but not of actual ones. A stage built for a play that never comes. What strikes many players the most about Dragonbridge is its silence. Other small towns hum with some sort of life. Miners at work in Darkwater Crossing, dockhands moving cargo in Dawnstar, priests holding rituals in Kynesgrove. But Dragonbridge often feels empty. Its residents are scattered, rarely seen outdoors, and the central road lacks bustle. This creates an atmosphere of quiet neglect. You ride in, the river is roaring below, the bridge looming overhead, and nothing really greets you. No guard, no market, no lively tavern really chatter. They just kind of hum in the night. Just a silence that feels out of place on such a major road. The most telling sign of Dragonbridge's neglect is how little the game uses it for storytelling. Beyond the endgame and Penitus Oculatus and a single bounty quest, Dragonbridge is barely referenced. No Daedric prince stirs trouble here, no guild recruits you from its homes, no artifact lies buried beneath its soil. Only once you get to the later quests is where it becomes significant. It exists as a setting without a story, a name on a map that offers almost nothing for most of the game. Compared to places like Shaw's Stone or Karthwasten, both of which tie directly into mining conflicts and quests for most of the game, Dragonbridge feels like a town deliberately overlooked. To truly understand Dragonbridge's invisibility, it helps to compare it with other small towns. Riverwood anchors the beginning of the main quest. Iverstead leads to High Hrothgar. Kynesgrove hosts a dragon resurrection. Shaw's Stone ties into the Thieves Guild and mining economy. Karthwasten struggles with Imperial overreach and the Silverblood family. Each of these towns matter to an extent, if only briefly. Dragonbridge, by contrast, never earns the moment. Even though its bridge is unforgettable and towards the end the town actually means something, the town attached to it still slips from memory almost as soon as you leave. It is the town that matters less than its landmark, and in that sense perhaps the most unseen of them all. And yet players do remember Dragonbridge. They remember the bridge's dragon heads, the roar of the river below, the sense of passing something ancient and monumental. They may not remember the names of its residents or the quests that it had but still lacked, but they surely remember the feeling of being there. Dragonbridge lingers not because of what it offers, but because of what it withholds. It feels like a town caught in suspension, a place that should have mattered but really doesn't. That emptiness tends to make it more memorable. Dragonbridge is possibly Skyrim's most unseen town. It has the bones of significance, location, architecture, history, but it is given none of the narrative flesh that makes Skyrim's other settlements thrive. It is a place you pass through, a landmark overshadowing the lives of those who live beside it. And maybe that's the point, because not every town in Skyrim can be the heart of a questline, the spark of a Daedric tale, or the site of a dragon battle. Some exist only to remind us of the quiet ones, the places the world doesn't see, but which still go on existing anyway. Dragonbridge stands eternal, the bridge that everyone notices and the town that no one does.